right. Well, gentlemen, good evening. We get together here on Wednesday evenings and talk about the early days of single sideband. Most of us are on vacuum tube radios. Some folks come by on hybrids. Other folks come by on modern radios. Anybody's welcome that's interested in what we're doing. I would like to have more people list vintage radios for buy, sell, trade here, but let's keep it limited to vintage radios. And if you're working on a radio and you need some assistance, some technical advice, there's a lot of expertise to be found here. And people are always welcome to put a question out there and get the participation to the group as to what might be done about the problem. Tonight I'm on a radio called Cheap and Easy SSB, built by KG7TR. That's from a QST article back in 1956. And he built it in more modern times, and the expertise that he installed in the radio has been demonstrated here many times over. And I certainly am proud to be operating it. That's driving a Johnson Viking Courier amplifier that K5CGI made available to me to use with it, and it's doing a good job. And we're listening on the Drake 2B with the Q multiplier peaked all the way up. I'm going to pick up 5, 6, 7 people, something like that, give it to Jay, and we'll see if some other net control types come by directly and want to take check-ins. That the propagation changes with the setting sun. We'll see what we turn up this evening. Let me start with my neighbor, George, Mr. TXW. George, talk to us, K5LYN.
Hello, Lynn, and all around the net for the finest hour of amateur radio for the week from WB5TXW. So I am on the usual S-Line 32, S-Line 75, S3, the power supply, the speaker box, sure 444, and all the antenna junk. And it seems to be working. Everybody seems to be sounding good. Didn't hear Mike, didn't hear Rusty. What else? Just a comment. I've been checking into nets 40 and 75 meters since 1977, and I've never once heard anybody check in for an emergency problem. WB5TXW back to net.
Not even on the emergency net frequencies. Not during the hurricanes, not during the Bastrop fires. Nope, not at all. All right, George, good to hear you. Let's see if Barry's still over there. KF5YMF. Barry, you still with us? How about it? K5LYN.
I'm still here, Lynn. KF5YMF. Thanks for picking me up there. Hey, that Cheap and Easy sounds great. Am I on frequency here?
You are perfect, and the Swan is romping and stomping.
Yep, my favorite radio here. Swan 500C. The dipole is still homely out there in the trees. And up way past my bedtime. Appreciate you picking me up early. Back to net.
Okay, we're going to miss you. Breakfast Saturday. Several of us get together at breakfast Saturday mornings, El Nuevo, Mexico, North Lamar and Koenig Lane, and Barry is usually one of the guys. Hey, Barry, be careful on the road. Those highways can be scary, okay?
Will do. Thank you, Lynn. And be looking forward to the next breakfast.
All right, see you when you get back. All right, let's see if Mr. OJB, Denver, is still lurking down there. How about it, Denver, K5LYN?
Okay, this is Denver, N5OJB, Gonzales, Texas. I'm still down here. Talking to you on a Collins 32S1, and listening to you on a 75S1, and a station console. And they're all winged emblems. I'm using a Shure 444 microphone, and I'm driving an NCL 2000 into a inverted V fan dipole, homemade, at about 30 foot in the air. And I love the radio, wouldn't take for it. And Dennis, I mean, listen to me, Dennis. Lynn, I sure would like to have that NCX3. Oh, man, that thing sounded good. Back to you, Lynn.
Well, Denver, let's see if it holds up for a second shift. I'm going to call the second shift on it. We're in the early stages of testing its reliability, so let's see how it goes first. Great to hear you. Good, nice work on the Collins. Anything else on your end this evening?
Oh, no, sir. Everything's cool, fine down here.
All right, we'll get together if the rig earns it. We'll see how it goes. All right, moving on here. KC5L. Hey, Tom, you down there somewhere? How about it? K5LYN.
Hey, good evening, Lynn and the Boneacres Nest. This is Tom, KC5L in San Antonio, and we're on the usual tonight. We're talking on the Central Electronics 200V with an original unmodified D104 microphone, and it's driving a Central Electronics 600L, and it's doing about 300 watts PEP into a Johnson KW Matchbox, and the antenna is a homebrew doublet up about 15 feet, and we're listening on the R398. And that's about all I have here, Lynn. Your cheap and easy sounds great as usual, so I'll turn it back to you, KC5L.
Okay, Tom. Yeah, I'm on the opposite side of the room from my cheap and easy, so we won't get to play cheap and easy on this end this evening. But next week we'll make up for lost time. But I had to try out this little national transceiver this evening. Great to hear you tonight. Anything else on your end this evening?
No, my bad. Yeah, I thought you. I know you said you were on the national earlier, and then for some reason my brain got scrambled, and I thought you switched to the cheap and easy. So no, your national sounds great. Sorry about that.
No, you got it right. I'm on the cheap and easy SSV. I'm going to do the second shift on the national. But if they sound that close to being the same, I think we're a go here. Great to hear you, Tom, and thanks for the report. All right, let me talk to my friend AG5XP, Kenneth, one of the great engineers of Central Texas. Talk to us, Kenneth. Over to you, K5LYN.
Thank you, Lynn, and the rest of your moderators for taking the time out to put this little show on the road. Enjoy listening to all these boat anchors. My name is Kenneth, up here in Central Texas, town called Brownwood, Alpha Call 5, X-Ray Papa. Tonight I'm on a couple of helicopters, got a HT-32A transmitter running through a 33A amplifier, and currently receiving Kenwood TS-530 for receiving. Got it going at a Heathkit 2040 tuner with a D104 microphone and a G5RV antenna. That's what we got here. K5LYN, back to you, Lynn.
All right, Kenneth, great to hear you. We look forward to crossing paths with you with the next Swamp Fest here. Probably, I don't know if it's going to be Belton or somewhere else. We'll figure it out. I don't think Daryl's still there. Let me try WA5VGO. Daryl, you there by any chance? Yeah, he had a conflict there. Let me jump ahead and pick up Dan and Perry, if they're still listening. Then I'll give this thing to you, Jay, and we can pick it up from there. How about KWOZ? Hey, Dan, talk to us. K5LYN.
Yeah, hello, Lynn and all the other boat anchors. This is Dan, KWOZ, downtown Sanctuary City of Houston. And we're running back on the Kenwood TS-530 SP. And using a Shure 444D microphone and driving a homebrew 3813's amplifier, about 1100 watts. The antenna, I took down my Ultimax 2-band bazooka and put up just a standard inverted V wire dipole, you might say. It's up about probably 5 feet higher than the bazooka was, but it receives a lot better, and I think it talks a lot better. And I raised one of the legs up about 6-7 feet today, so I can tell the difference already in that. Plus, it's resonant right here on 3870. And that's about it. I got a project for tomorrow of putting 12-volt LEDs and a whole bunch of equipment here that's got 1 or 2 bulbs burned out, you know, the typical stuff, but I'm going to put a bunch of LEDs in there that I bought here a few weeks ago. That's it from here. K8WOZ. Back to next.
Hey, Dan, I have a question about those. I've never done that, but I know everybody's doing it. Now, do you have to change the socket too, or can you get the new LEDs that'll fit into the same socket?
Well, either way. In fact, there's 3 ways. If it's some like a watt meter, you know, I just clip the wires and put 12-volt LED in there. Same thing with some of the tuners, unless they've got a socket. But you can buy multicolored LED, like GE 47 bulbs that plug right in those sockets.
Okay. Yeah, I need to get into that, because every time I turn around, my incandescent bulbs in my vintage radios are burning out, and I assume that solves that problem.
Oh, yeah. In fact, I bought a bunch of them for our Drake equipment when I was messing with all that stuff years back, and they're kind of blue-green, just like the original Drake colors, but, boy, they look so much nicer and cleaner in there than the originals, you know, where they put that screen, that green screen behind the meter or whatever to make it look blue, but you put the blue LEDs in there that you can plug right in and it looks much better.
Yeah, I need to get on the stick and get that done, because every radio I've got's got one bulb or not burned out in it, and I need to solve that problem. Thanks for the information, Dan. Anything else on your end?
No, that's it. Just lots of rain.
Okay. All right, let's see if Perry's in there still, and then we'll give this thing to Jay, and we'll be looking for Rusty and Mike and anybody else that wants to take check-ins here tonight. How about it, Perry? KB0UOZ. You hearing me up there? K5LYN.
K5LYN, KB0UOZ. You know, I need to look into that too on them bulbs. I'd like to have some green ones to put in my heat kit stuff. That might be kind of cool. Hey, man, we're kind of cheap here tonight. I'm on a Kenwood TS 520, just a straight 520 I bought at Hamfest a month ago or so down in Oklahoma. And it's the cleanest thing I've seen in 30 years. So anyway, I'm really proud and real lucky to have it. When I come home from work this afternoon, I moved things around here and hooked up another SB102 and did up for a while, and then I got over it to see how things were going. And not a problem. I don't know, bad deal. It don't sound right at all. Receives just ungarbled up. Sounds like it's broadbanded or something. I couldn't seem to tune things in. So, and I bet it's something in that doggone TSO. We'll have to look at it. I think I had trouble with this particular one a year or two ago. I thought I heard it straight, and it's been sitting on a shelf ever since. So anyway, we're going to have to get it back into it one of these days. And anyway, so other than that, like I said, just on the Kenwood 520, and I guess I am running the SB220 here. Getting right there to gallon out, so there you go. And kind of some of those stuff got my 2060 tuner and going out the right line to my 137-foot inverted antenna stereo. And thanks for getting me in. Good evening all the way around to the game. We're right along. So
Okay, a 0 in there. We'll get you picked up in just a minute. All right, Perry, great to hear you. You and I have been talking 20 or 30 years since we go all the way back to the vintage sideband net on 20 meters, and it's always a pleasure to visit with you. You can always put a spectacular signal out of your station. All right, Jay, why don't I give this thing to you? There was a 0 trying to get in there, and I'll let you pick that guy up and others you may have on the list. KM5QS, K5LYN, I'll be back on the National, assuming that it works.
Oh, surely it will. Okay, Lynn, no problem. KM5QS with the Boat Anchors Unlimited this evening, coming to you with a Electro Voice 664 going into a Kenwood TS820S, listening on a Kenwood R820, transmitting through a TL922 amplifier into a homebrew antenna tuner, open wire line, and antenna. So, all that being said, I'm somehow managing to get somewhere around 1,400 watts out right now. The N0 station, what was your call again?
November 0, November Whiskey, Papa.
Okay, well, while we got you, go ahead, sir.
I just heard Barry sign out there, and I thought I'd jump in and see if I could make contact with you. This is Dennis, N0NWC. I'm in Rogersville, Missouri, southwest Missouri, not too far away from Perry there. I'm running a Cubic Astro 103 this evening with a Shure 444 mic into an 80-meter loop.
Well, it sounds fine. It's doing a good job down here. I can't see my S-meter real good from here, but you're making the trip just fine. No problems. Copy 100%.
Roger, roger. Well, that's all I've got. I'll back out of here and let you catch somebody else. Have a good evening.
Evening, Dennis.
Thank you, Dennis.
Roger. Thank you, Dennis, for checking in. We'll look for you next time. All right. Let me catch up with where I am. K5LT. Wow, I got you on the list.
Good evening, Jay, and everyone else on the net. This is Lyle, K5LT, located outside of Bernie, Texas. And I am not running the Heathkit SB101 tonight. It's got a couple of weeks ago I was letting it warm up for the net, and it started making all kinds of popping noises on the receiver. And so I shut it back down and haven't dug into it yet. After Googling it, I'm thinking the problem is with the automatic volume control circuit. Got some component going out, so I'm going to check the voltages and see what I can find. Either a tube's going bad or a cap is letting loose, would be my guess. I just need to hunt it down and find it. Other than that, everything's going good here. A couple of rainstorms coming through, so back to you, Jay. K5LT.
Okay, Lyle. Well, usually if it's a bad cap, they're not really hard to find. Well, sometimes they are, but look for swelling, nasty smells, you know the drill.
Look for the missing magical smoke.
Yeah, that too. Okay. Well, good luck with that. We'll look forward to hearing it next week. All right, let's see. WB5OZZ. Don, I got you in here.
Okay, this is Don, WB5OZZ, running the 444 TS520 Transceiver and the 2020L 2200, the new 220, to a merged tuner in about 450 feet of open wire, random wire. Over.
Okay, well, it's working.
Roger, Dodger.
Is that all you need, Don?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Catch up with you later. Hubert, KC5NPC. Your turn, sir.
Well, hello, Jay and Annette. I won't do anything but check in. My primary goal tonight was list a radio, that ICOM 7700, but since Lynn said limited to vintage radios, I won't list the ICOM 7700 tonight. I'll just check in on the 7300 SB1000, the MT3000A, which is in the bypass position, to a WM2000 Swan watt meter out to an off-center fed dipole about 500 watts over here in San Angelo. Kilo Charlie 5 November, Papa Charlie, back at you.
Okay, Hubert. Yes, sir. Well, we'll catch up with your bargain basement 7700 deal on the weekend nets, Friday night and Sunday morning, Sunday evening, stuff like that. I'm sure we still got them listed, and unless you sell them ahead of time, let us know.
Roger. Thank you, Jay.
Okie doke. Thank you, Hubert. KC5WLF. Is that Jimmy?
Yeah, can you copy me, Jay?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, this is Jimmy, Kilo Charlie 5 Whiskey, Lima Foxtrot. I'm probably about 2 stone throws away from that's on it. I might give you more of them. But anyway, we're over here in Cedar Park, actually, and talking to you on a FT101ZD, 1986 model, I believe it is. And just talking on the radio on the off-center fed dipole. But everybody sounds good tonight. Hey, KC5WLF.
Okay, Jimmy, you're sounding good. You're working for you. Everybody's sounding good this evening so far. Let's stretch it out a little bit and see if Marty can make the trip across the Gulf of Mexico. W4 excuse me, I said that wrong. Whiskey 4 November Oscar. Go ahead, Marty.
Yeah, this is W4NNO, located in Redneck Riviera, Panama City, Florida, running the D104 into the an R4B and driving an old Collins 3001 into an inverted V about 35 foot at the apex. That's a double bazooka, homemade, and that's the story here. And I do have a technical question. I intended to get on tonight with a Swan 700CX. That didn't work out, and I'm having a problem with the power supply. So if anybody has any thoughts on that, I'll defer to later in the conversation here. Somebody maybe help me out. W4NNO back to net.
Comment, Jay?
Go ahead, Lynn.
Yeah, I didn't get his call exactly, W4NNF. Maybe this is K5LYN, Lynn at Austin. I'm wondering if you're familiar with the Swan Compendium. It's called the Swan Compendium, and it's on the internet free of charge. And just about everything that's ever known about swans is there. Over.
Roger. I do have that, a couple of copies probably.
Okay, that's probably the best advice around. So I guess at this point we wish you good luck.
Roger. I think I lost filament power for whatever reason. Happened today, probably 2 or 3 hours ago.
Good luck with it. Back to you, Jay.
Contact.
Okay, and yeah, Lynn, his call was W4 November Oscar. And Marty, have you ever visited with Rusty, WK5R? He rebuilds and repopulates and recaps. He does all kinds of stuff with Swan Power Supplies. He did one for me one time for an old 350, and it couldn't have been any better if it had been brand new. Actually, I think it was better than brand new. But if you can get a hold of Rusty through email, he's good on QRZ for his email under Whiskey Kilo 5 Romeo, and I'm sure he could help you out.
I'm right here, Jay.
Oh, there's Rusty right there.
Yeah, just look me up there, Marty, and just give me a email, or my phone number's on my store there at WK5R.org. There, phone number's there.
Roger. I think somebody gave me K5CDI as a source as well. I don't know, but yeah, thanks, Rusty. WK5R, is that right?
Whiskey Kilowatt 5 radio.
Roger.
Now, if I don't answer, please leave a message. I will call you back, because I drive a school bus, and when I'm behind the wheel, I'm not allowed to answer the phone.
Roger. Thank you, Rusty.
Go ahead, Jay. I'll wait for your handoff.
Okay. All righty. Yeah, it shouldn't be too much longer. We're just about there, I think. Well, my list is running low. But I do have, and thanks, Marty, for checking in, and good luck with your deal there. If Rusty, he can probably fix you up. All righty. Next up, K5LYL. Go ahead, Todd.
Hello, Jay, and everybody else on the Boat Anchor Net. This is KA5LYL, Todd in Corpus. And about the only thing that's really, truly vintage about this station tonight is the Heathkit tuner, the SA2060. I decided to take the advice that I was given and keep the doggone thing, because it's pretty much rock solid. You can't hardly kill these things. That's what I've been told. So it's still on this station. I'm running what I'm running here is a Yaesu FT1000MP Mark V that I got from Denver, representing an estate, and it's working like a hose. You're hearing it now. Every bit of, I guess, 200 watts. And the mic I'm using on it is the Yaesu MD100 desk microphone. And, of course, going through the big SA2060 Heathkit tuner out to, what is this antenna? I keep forgetting. All-center fed dipole. An all-center fed dipole with a feed point about 40 feet. And I think the ends are about 20 to 30 feet, somewhere along in there. So that's my claim to fame. Everybody sounds good on their old radios. KA5LYL, back to net.
Okay, Rusty. You still have the, I mean, right, Rusty, Todd, excuse me, I was, I'm jumping ahead. You still got that 820 speaker for sale?
Yes, sir. It's still for sale. Price went down to $50.
Oh, okay. All righty. Anybody gets through Corpus and wants to pick up a Kenwood 820 speaker, well, Todd's got one over there. You can look him up on QRZ, KA5LYL, and get a hold of him and pick up a nice speaker for $50 if I don't get it first.
Roger, I appreciate it, Jay. Back to net, KA5LYL.
All righty. Well, that's boat anchor related, so, you know, what can I say? All right, Rusty, I think I've run my list dry, except for, well, actually there is one more in there. Sammy, you got any boat anchor stuff you want to list? He must have slipped off. Okay, Rusty, this is your turn. WK5R, KM5QS, now relinquishing the net to you.
Now, here it is. Okay, Jay, appreciate it. All right. This is WK5R. Just a chat. Hello. There we go. Right about there. All right, this is WK5R. I am on the Drake Twins tonight, the T4X and the R4A. One of my rebuilt power supplies. And the microphone is an Audio Technica AT2035. And I'm driving the homebrew GS35B amplifier. Hello. Oh, that's about 1100. It's working tonight. Yeah, a little over 1100 actually. Into a band dipole up at about 50 foot. All right. Who else is out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
Kilo Echo 5 Quebec. KE5Q.
KE5Q. Go ahead, Jim.
All right. Good evening. This is KE5Q, Jim in Plano, and good evening to everybody on the net. Band seems to be in pretty good shape here tonight. And I'm on the usual here. I'm on the KWM2 3001 with a Shure 444 going into the Ultimax 8040 double bazooka. And appreciate you calling the net. KE5Q, go ahead.
Okay, Jim. That Collins station sounds great as usual. All right, who's next for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
Victor Charlie Uniform.
KG5LRS. Okay, hang on just a second there. Was that VCU, N0VCU? Is that you? Go ahead.
Yeah, Rusty, that's me. Good evening to you and good evening to the Boat Anchor Net. The other couple weeks ago, they were talking about the first solid-state transceiver, and I thought I'd fire up my old Swan SS200 tonight. It's built in 1974. Herb Johnson out there in California. This was the first Swan solid-state rig, and I think it's the only one that had the Swan name on it. Anyway, we're driving the AL1200 into a WM3000 Swan watt meter. No antenna tuner because the antenna's resonant right here on 3870, and it's a homemade fan dipole up about 40 feet. I'm driving the little transceiver with an old Turner Road King hand mic, Rusty. That's the story from here. Good evening to everybody, and you're sounding good, Rusty. Over.
Roger. Well, that old trucker's mic is apparently it's got a good element in it because it sounds good on the the old solid state Swan there. All right. Appreciate you checking in there. All right. Was that you over there, JC? Go ahead.
Yeah, Rusty, this is KG5LRS. I'm not talking on any boat anchor. I just wanted to jump in here and pass them 73s around to the gang, and I hope everybody's doing well. Anyway, Rusty, thank you for picking me up, and I'll stand by here and do a little bit of listening. KG5LRS.
Okay, JC. Oh, I wish you'd warn me before you do that. These twins moved over 4 inches to the left when you keyed up, over.
I'm sorry about that, my friend. Okay, well, listen, carry on, and I hope you have a good net there tonight. KG5 Delaware, we're going to be listening.
Okay, we'll catch you later, JC. Appreciate you checking in. All right, who's next for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
Whiskey 5, Charlie.
November 5, Romeo Mike Yankee. November 5, Romeo Mike Yankee. Go ahead.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, from Frisco, Texas. I'm running one of the newer rigs right now. I just finished up a Yaesu FT101ZD, and I now have a S-line on the workbench. And I'm gonna be needing some parts and this, that, and the other for the S-line, I'm pretty sure. And I was hoping to get on tonight and maybe see where the best local places were to acquire parts. Over.
Okay. There's a surplus place over there as you're going out of Dallas on 35 towards Denton there. It's on Bellwood Parkway, turning on that's called Tanner's. And they've got a lot of surplus stuff. And you might check with Sammy, Whiskey 5, Delta Papa down at College Station. It's possible he might have something you might need there. You can look him up on QRZ and shoot him an email there. Or his phone number is 979-820-4814. 979-820-4814. That might be a couple of possible places for you there, over.
Okay, well, perfect. Yeah, if you're in the Dallas area, you might remember H.C. Nanny, Olson Electronics. My dad used to drive me down. I was too young to drive. And but Tanner's, wow, I bought from Tanner from the original location, and I've talked to Sammy a bit. They actually, I'll try to make it really short. My dad used to take me over. He knew Art, so he would take me over as a little kid, and they'd meet up at the dock with us, and he'd give me a basket of S-Catch components. But those days are long since gone. H.C. Nanny sold everything by the weight, if you remember that, over.
And Tanner's is now closed.
Tanner's closed down?
Yes, sir. About, been 3 months ago.
I didn't know that. Sorry to hear that. I like that place.
Yeah,
I don't remember that one you're talking about, but I do remember
I don't know where you go today. WA5EDX.
Just on the west side of Ross Bridge there, and off of Lamar. And I remember up the road there, it was Crabtree. That's the only ones I remember there. I remember Electrotex and Off the Shelf, but that's it.
Yeah, Crabtree's was really popular. I bought a bunch of stuff from H.C. Nanny, and the Electronic Center every now and then had stuff. That's back when they had the sales underneath the 35 there. But yeah, I'm not going to need a whole lot, and I've got stuff here. The sad truth is, I can't find stuff. I've got the transmitter, the 32, and the 75 receiver. And I can't find my control console. I did find the power supply and the speaker. You know how it is when you get old. I've got too many boxes here, over.
Roger. Well, if you need any help on that power supply, I rebuild those things, so you can look me up there. All right, anything else for that?
No, that's it. I appreciate you guys letting me in tonight. So I'll go ahead and N5RMY back to net, sir.
Okay, thank you there. And whatever you're talking on sounds good there. Okay, there was another station under him. Try it again.
The Whiskey 5 station. Try it again.
I heard him the first time, Jay, but I don't hear nothing now.
Well, I heard him try to check in a couple of times, but there was, everybody at once. But anyway, it was Whiskey 5. I couldn't catch the rest of it.
Okay. All right. Who else is out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited net? Come now.
WA5EDX.
Go ahead, Byron.
Hey, good evening, Rusty, Jay, Lynn, everybody else on the net. WA5EDX. This is Barefoot Byron here in beautiful Bluffdale, and not too much new here tonight. We're vintage, but we're not boat anchor. We're on the TS-130S again this evening. And I have just one little piece of advice to pass along to all you guys that are looking to clean up your radios and make them look better. Then go get your cataracts taken out. Hi. I did that Monday, and boy, all my radios are looking so much better. Couldn't believe it. So don't put that off, guys. It's well worth it and painless and covered by Medicare. Hi. That's all I know this evening. Back to you, Rusty. Thanks again for calling it. WA5EDX.
Okay, Byron. The Kidwood 130 sounds good there. All right. I was going to say something now. I forgot what it was. Oh, well, we'll see. Who else is out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited net? Come now.
Whiskey 5, Charlie Victor Tango.
There's somebody there, but I can't get him. Anybody else got him?
Yeah, go try it again, Whiskey 5.
Whiskey 5, Charlie Victor Tango.
CVT. Go ahead, sir. Your turn.
Thank you, sir. I'm not nearly running a boat anchor anywhere near it. Name here is Sean, by the way. I'm over in Cypress, Texas. I'm running a new rig, ICOM 7300, running just 100 watts into the north-facing gutter system of my house because I live in a communist HOA section.
Outstanding. I love it. They'll never find, I'm sure you're not causing any interference, but if you were, they'd never find it.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm not going to stay in here because I was just going through the, scanning the frequencies and heard you guys in there coming in, some of you 20 over 9, and I just thought I'd throw it out there and see how the gutter system is doing. Over.
Well, sir, it's working fine for you down here. I'm my call is KM5QS. I'm in Alice, Texas, so I'm a ways down the road. And what you've run into is the Boat Anchors Unlimited net. We have this every Wednesday evening from 7:30 until we run out of check-ins, usually around an hour or so. And boat anchors, by that I mean usually have at least 2 or 3 tubes in them, made in the 60s and 70s and stuff like that. But it's not limited. Anybody with any interest in what we're doing or just wants to check in and say hi, that's fine too. That's why it's called the Boat Anchors Unlimited net. So that's what we're doing.
Well, thank you very much, sir. Thanks for the information, and thanks for letting me jump in there. Like I said, I'm over in Cypress, Texas, and just seeing how this thing works. I got fed, about 80 feet of gutter fed in an in-fed configuration with a 9-to-1 balance from alpha antenna called the HOE buster. And on 20 through 40, I don't even need a tuner. It's about 1.3 to 1 to flat all the way across. And on 1.7 to 1 without the tuner. Over.
Man, that's pretty good. Yeah, that is pretty cool. But, you tune it down a little bit, and solid-state radios don't like that after 1.5 too much, but not that it'll really hurt them, but it cuts them back sometimes. But anyway, no, it's working well for you. That's something good to know.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I actually turned the tuner on for 80 meters, but for 40 and 20 and I even on 30 meters, I made a good CW contact today on 30, and I got a S99 599 from that fella.
All right. Well, good deal. Well, that's what finding a way, innovation and experimentation, and finding a way to get your contacts made. That's what it's all about. Well, Sean, thanks a lot for checking in. Let me turn this back to Rusty and see if he wants to pick up some more out there. So thank you, sir, and we'll look for you again sometime.
Hey,
KM5QS, Rusty, WK5R, back to you.
Hey, Jay.
Yes, sir.
What's that fellow Sean's not that name? I want to ask about. I was going to ask him by email about his antenna.
Oh, okay. His call is Whiskey 5 Charlie Victor Tango, and his antenna is the gutter system on his house.
Yeah, I used to use one. I was going to find out about his end-fed deal.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, Rusty.
Yeah, Roger. Thank you, Jay. I couldn't really tell everything he was saying, but I picked up enough that I knew it was John. We talked to him the other night there. All right. Thanks for checking in, John. All right. Who else is out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited before I shift her back down to Lynn there? Go ahead.
K5EF.
Hey, go ahead, Nick.
Hey, Randy, it's been a while. K5EF. Just wanted to check in and add to the numbers. And everybody's sounding good tonight. Running the Central Electronics 100B 600L combination. And the receiver's a Drake R4. The antenna's a sloper array. Go ahead.
Yeah, sounds good there, Nick. Got anything else?
Well, in October, we have the W9DYB Radio Symposium in conjunction with the Slidell Hamfest. Information about that is at the Central Electronics website. We have a number of speakers already lined up. We have a couple more in the pipeline. We're trying to get committed, but it ought to be a lot of fun, and hope to see you guys over.
All right. Appreciate it there, Nick. You got anything else for the net?
No, I'm good. Just want to listen to the rest of these nice boat anchors. They sound good tonight.
Okay. Yeah, appreciate you checking in, Nick. We'll catch you later. All right. I think I'm going to go ahead and turn it back to Lynn, because I need to go turn the air conditioner up. It's getting warm here with all these tubes going. So, K5LYN, WK5R. Go ahead, Lynn.
Well, let's see if I'm making sense when I talk. What do you think, Rusty? K5LYN.
That sounds good on this end. Go ahead.
All right. Good evening, Nick. Yeah, this is K5LYN returning. This is a radio I've never used on the net before. I brought back to life a National NCX3 transceiver that was part of a pile of junk that I got from an estate sale, and I was kind of shocked when I recapped it and turned it on, and the dial lights lit and nothing smoked. So we're giving it a try here tonight. I'm kind of amazed how well it's working. A guy even sent me an improved front panel for it that I cleaned up with hand cleaner with pumice in it, and it looks remarkably good. So we'll see if I can make any contacts here on this thing. Who else wants to talk boat anchors tonight? K5LYN, Lynn in Austin, listening?
AL7 Charlie Delta.
Hey there, Mike. Good to hear you. Pick it up.
Okay, Lynn. Yeah, I've been listening for a while. I apologize to everybody. I didn't get in till about 7:45. I was on the phone with my daughter, and it doesn't work out good when you got a 40-year-old. Well, she's actually 44, I think. 44-year-old daughter, and you say, "Honey, I got to go. I got boat anchors." Anyway, I didn't do that, and so I ran a little bit late. So the rig report's going to be, it's going to be late if it happens at all. I may, if I have energy to do it tomorrow, I may listen to the recording if Matt's doing it, and do a belated rig report when I go down through it. It's probably what I should do anyway, but it's a lot quicker to do it when the net's on the air. Other than I always listen to the net after, the next day, but I don't do it concentrating and with a notepad and all that sort of thing. So that's what happened. Okay, so tonight I'm on the HT37 by Hallicrafters. For a transmitter, my receiver is an R4 by Drake. And the microphone is D104. And no amplification, no tuner. I've got an amplifier sitting next to me, but I got some parts ordered in order to hook up the control circuitry, so I'm running barefoot tonight about 80 watts. So I hope I'm making the trip. One thing I did on the HD37 since the last net was I worked on the sideband suppression, so if anybody has a scope or something like that or can switch over to upper sideband, might give me a report. I had one on 3916 and it looked pretty clean to them. That's at 80 watts, not at 600 or 700, which I'll be running when I get this old HD33A connected up and operating. My antenna is a dipole up about 25 feet, fed with coax, so pretty simple station. My latest project is I'm converting. You might be interested in this because it relates to a D104. My latest project, I've got this old called a T32. It's a black. They call it a candlestick. And the mouthpiece or the head looks just like what you used to talk into in the old crank telephones, just this black Bakelite looking thing sticking up in your face, and then it's got this big fat stick down to a base similar to a D104. That's a carbon mic, and I've had it, I don't even know where I got it, how long I've had it. It's kind of interesting to look at, and I had it sitting up on the operating shelf here up on the second level. And anybody who comes in my shack, that's the first thing they say is, boy, that's cool looking. Where'd you get that? And how did you get it? Do you use it? Blah, blah, blah. Well, it's a carbon microphone, so I don't use it. I decided what I would try to do is get an element for it, if I could find one, and convert it over to something I could use with the old boat anchors here. I got on the internet, and I did find... Actually, it's a conversion kit made by Bob Heil for a D104. And so it's a dynamic element. Comes with backing foam to hold the element in place. The diameter is cut. It's actually a square, the back, what they call the baffle. You have to trim it to the size of the opening. And then the element, you have to solder the wires to it. And then it's got a foam pad in front of it that goes behind the screen. Anyway, it looked like it would work with the old T32, and so I bought one. And I've been working on that, getting that old thing converted. And I think I'm probably going to write a little article for Electric Radio. I've been taking some pictures if it works out okay. Anyway, it's a 600 ohm impedance element. But Bob includes an impedance transformer to take it up to high impedance. If you don't need it, you don't use it. But for most of the old boat anchors, you need to use it. You wire that in, and lo and behold, you're supposed to get much better frequency response as far as width than the old crystal element in the D104. I have two D104s, and both of them work. In fact, I'm talking on one now, so I wasn't too interested in that part of it, but I thought I would mention it. Anybody's got an old D104 hanging out in their shack that doesn't work anymore, you might check that out and see if you want to invest $60 or $70. It's more than just the element. That's the thing about it. I mean, you basically get to rebuild a D104. And by the way, Bob mentioned in his instructions to take what is called an amplifier, take the amplifier out of a D104 if yours is amplified. As he said, really, it's not an amplifier. What it is a circuit to vary the impedance to work the old D104s without an amplifier/impedance adjusting circuitry to work into CB radios. He said, the output of an element, the original element, even if it doesn't work anymore, the original element, the output was so great, you certainly didn't need an amplifier. So he said, just take that out, and go straight to your radio through this impedance transformer, and you'll have you a good working D104. So I'm doing that to the T32, and see if I can get that on the air with push to talk and all that good stuff. Let's see, what else? Oh, by the way, that microphone retrofit for the D104 by Bob Heil is called a Hotel Charlie -5.1. Hotel Charlie 5.1 retro kit. And if you got a D104 and you want to play with it, get it back in working condition, check that out. By the way, I don't get any commission or anything like that. I get that project done. The next up is an SX101A, and I blew that up, putting RF into the antenna changeover relay without it operating. So I'm pretty sure I have the antenna coils on the front end shot on 80 and 15 meters. So my want, this is a want from KL7 Charlie Delta in New Braunfels, is a parts rig. SX101, any of the Mark 1, 2, 3 variants, or an SX101A. I think the front end there off the antenna is pretty much standard on all those rigs. And I don't know if you've looked in the bottom of one of those, but getting one of those coils out and replacing it's going to be a booger. Anyway, I'd be interested in knowing about that. I'll drive to get it. I will pay a reasonable price. It does not have to work. It does not need any tubes. I just want the chassis and everything underneath it. Okay, let's see what else. I went last weekend to the Texas City Hamfest. That was a lot of fun. Less people than I would have thought, but there was a decent crowd there. And I picked up an antenna relay and some connectors. I didn't go crazy and buy a bunch of crap. What else? Oh, I wanted to tell Nick if he's still on the frequency. I'll see him at Belton, and the next weekend is his deal in Slidell. And I'm going to try to make both of them. And so what I was thinking is I'll go to Belton and bring Nick a Central Electronics 100V that he could take home with him. And, he worked on it once, and I can't seem to make it really put out power. And then I can see him there in Slidell, and he'll have it fixed by then, and he can give it back to me, and I'll pay him some money or buy him supper or something like that. Anyway, that's what's going on down here in New Braunfels, Texas. It's great to be a Boat Anchors Unlimited guy. Everybody's sounding great. And hopefully I'll have a rig report maybe sometime tomorrow or the next day. AL7 Charlie Delta, back to you, Lynn.
Comment?
Comment, go ahead.
Yeah, this is Jay. While you were talking, Mike, I switched to upper sideband on the 820, and it wasn't really loud or objectionable, but I could hear you on upper side. So I switched rigs, and I looked at you on the scope on the 990, and it was the same thing. It wasn't a lot of interference or anything, but your signal was legible at a very low level on that rig. So it's probably close to being right, but just a little more adjusting, you'll probably get it.
Okay, thank you, Jay. That doesn't surprise me. I was trying Lynn's method, and I need to talk to Lynn and get some pointers, because on the phase on the L and the C phase doesn't really seem to give me much difference on just the S meter. So I think I'm eventually going to have to go to a scope and do it that way.
Comment?
Go ahead, comment.
Yeah, turn your ABC on your receiver off. Turn the audio all the way up, and then turn the RF gain so that it just barely chirps, and then adjust it.
Okay, you went kind of fast there. Give me that again.
Yeah. When you're listening on the receiver, turn your audio gain all the way up and your RF gain way down, so that disables the ABC on the receiver, and then bring the RF gain up to where it just begins to chirp, and that'll tell you the critical levels of how to get rid of that last little bit.
Hey, I got you. I'll try that.
And by the way, that is the 37, right?
Yes, HT37.
Absolutely beautiful audio, Mike. You're 95% there.
Okay, Lynn, thanks so much for the flowers.
All right, keep us posted on that. But keep the AVC on your receiver might be playing tricks on you, so make sure it's disabled. All right, let's see. Anything else on your end, Mike, before I see if there's anybody else out there who wants to talk?
I think I talked enough. Thank you, Lynn.
All right, this is K5LYN on the NCX3 National Transceiver, the first time I've had it on the net. Anybody else want to talk to us? I'm listening.
Recheck,
go ahead.
Yeah, it's Tom KC5L. Yes, right now I'm back on the modded rig, and I'm talking on a D104 with the Heil HC5 retro kit that Mike mentioned. And then I also have on the Bone Anchor another D104 that's original. Been really happy with the retro kit on the D104 that I use with the modded rig. I just wanted to point that out. Back to you, KC5L.
Okay, mounting them is critical. I have one of those too, and I haven't been able to mount it right so that it lives up to my expectations, so I need to try again. But thanks for the additional information. Okay, anybody else out there wants to talk to us tonight?
Are them amplified D104s or just non-amplified?
Bob usually has us take the amplifier out of there.
Okay, thank you. KC5WI.
Okay, I don't know if I'm on 3870 or not. Anybody want to comment about my frequency? I think I'm drifting a little bit on this thing.
I believe, let me see, Lynn, I'm zero on me because I'm dead center right now according to the 990. You seem to have gone up the band just a tiny bit. So 1, 2, 3 and Mary's Little Lamb and all that other good stuff. Is that enough?
Do I sound better now?
Yes, you do.
All right. Yeah, well, this is the first time around on this radio, and it seems to be doing pretty good. Hey, we're about almost to the bottom of the hour. Anybody else need to talk boat anchors before we wind her down tonight? K5LYN.
KE5ARQ.
ARQ, hey, talk to us, James.
Everybody, it's James over in Floresville, Texas. Nothing different over here. Running the Kenwood TS830S. Got an inverted V about 40 feet. TL922A, about 1,000 watts. And the Shure 444 mic, and that is about it. K5ARQ.
Hey James, you know you have one of the strongest signals on the net every week. Nice work on your part.
Hey, thanks a lot. Yeah, everybody's sounding real good over here too. So something is magic in the air.
Yeah. A few thunderstorms too. All right, great to hear you, James. Nice to hear you. All right, that's probably enough on my end tonight. Jay, why don't I give it to you, and then Rusty can make a last shout. And we'll begin to probably slow this thing down. We've been talking an hour here. KM5QS, K5LYN.
Well, I know. Yeah, we've been here for quite a while. So I did promise to do something. And so let me do that, just in case Darrell has found his way back. Whiskey Alpha 5, Victor Golf Oscar. Are you back yet? Well, maybe he hadn't quite finished up with his other schedule there, but all right. Anyone else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited this evening? Come now, please.
K5GIT.
Huh? Whiskey 5GIT. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, it's Kilowatt 5 Golf India Tango. My name is Ron, and I'm located in Kerrville, Texas. Everybody's sounding good here tonight, and we're running a Drake C-Line into a SB220 and a full-wave loop antenna, and I hope it's getting out here. Okay, thank you, Jay.
45 over in New Braunfels.
Yeah, you're 20 over down here. It's not having any problems.
Yeah, 25 over New Caney, Texas. OZZ.
30 over in Houston.
Thank you.
That's a heck of a signal report. All points are hearing you just fine. Okay, Ron, thank you, sir. It's sounding great this evening. All right, is there anyone else out there for the boat anchors?
Question.
Do it.
I got a question.
Well, go ahead.
This is Dan. And this might be for Lynn. I just wonder if Johnson ever made a phasing type sideband transceiver of any kind. I don't know if that one with a slide rule dial has phasing or not. I don't think so, but I just wonder if Johnson ever made a phasing exciter.
No, they didn't, Dan. No, they made a sideband adapter for the Johnson Viking Valiant that's very, very, very hard to come by, but I'm told that it's a clear crystal filter of some kind. I've never seen one, but I think KL7CD Mike had one time. We might ask him that question. Then they made a Johnson Viking Avenger, which was a little transceiver. Very few. I think they made about 20 of those, but that's as far. They did wait a minute, the pacemaker. You know what? Look up the Johnson Viking pacemaker. That might have been phasing. Over.
Yeah, well, that's the one that I couldn't remember what you call it. That's the one with the slide rule dial. I know Jack up there in Austin has got one, but I didn't know if they were phasing or not. I'll have to look it up.
I think they are. There's so few of those around. If you figure it out, to bring us up to date, because I'm curious myself.
Okay. I don't want one. I don't want one ever, but I'm going to look it up.
Well, Johnson never quite figured it out.
Yeah, thank you.
Comment.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Lynn, the pacemaker, of course, he said transceiver. Maybe he just meant exciter or transmitter, but the pacemaker is definitely, I have one sitting on the shelf here. It's thin line, but I really want to get it going again. I had one I used to operate for a long time, and I was living in Alaska at the time, and I worked the world on that darn thing. And the Japanese into Alaska, you talk about a pileup now. I was on the receiving end of a pileup, and they all told me I sounded like an AM broadcast station. And the reason, because it was so wide, I guess it sounded pretty good. But it is definitely a phasing rig.
Huh. I never knew that. I wondered if that would have been, I figured that would have been the only one. But no, I did say a transmitter, transceiver, exciter of any kind.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's a monster, but and it's got all kinds of crystals in it. It's a pretty elaborate way of generating a frequency you want to operate on. And by the way, when you say slide rule dial, this has the circular dial. Like a Ranger, like the old Ranger.
Oh, well, shoot. What's that one, Johnson with a slide rule dial? What's that called?
I thought that's what you said. A slide rule dial is, left to right, like a slide rule.
He faded out.
Dan, I think there was one. It was a crystal filter. What was that? You could buy it with 2 4400s in it.
Well, I
know what you're talking about. You're talking about the
real dial. It was a Johnson. They're real dogs. But
it was a Viking something. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, they were. I think that was a filter rig.
Yeah, it's Invader series, Invader 2000, Invader 200-watt version.
Invader. That's what I was trying to think of.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
And it was crystal filter.
Okay.
Isn't that the one nobody can fix?
Yeah, they were terrible.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. I'm done.
Okay. All right. Is there anybody we missed out there? Anyone who left for the Boat Anchors Unlimited?
Yeah, I'm still over here waiting.
Oh, you're still there? Well, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna do buy one get one free, but nobody ever called on me, so I'm just still got them.
Well, I did call on you, but it's been a while back. You might have had to go get a refreshment or something. But no, go ahead, Sammy.
I just gave up. Okay, this is W5DPP, and I've got still got the Kenwood deal. $200 and you buy one to get one free, or $100 a piece for a 520 or a 101 Yaesu, not a double E or not an E, it's just a plain 101. Also, for I have an HRO 60 and $200. I got the nice speaker with it too, and that'd be a buy one and get one free with that one too. So I got 2 boxes of coils with that stuff there, and let's see what else could we have. How about a DX100? That $100 and you buy one, you get one free. That's 200 pounds there, so that ought to be worth $200. But hell, I'd do for $100 you get to buy one and get one free. The cabinet's worth $50 probably. You just got to come haul it off. They're heavy. Something else that I was thinking about. I can't think about it. I forgot now, but that ought to be enough. Just interested in any of those buy one get one free, just give me a call or at 979-820-4814 or shoot me an email, and I may answer that, may not sometime. It seems like W5DPP.
What's the phone number again? 979-820-4814.
Yes, sir.
Question. N5RMY here. Hey, Sammy, what do you got in the way of Collins parts and pieces laying around? Just stuff.
I got about 4 tables right out there right now.
Okay, well, that sounds good to me. This is Curtis up in Frisco. We've talked a couple of times. I was going to come down and load up all your amplifiers, but my wife heard a clicking sound, and I remembered the shotgun was laying out, so I did not go to the car. But if you don't mind, I may give you a buzz.
Yeah, well, there's supposed to be a guy come down from Florida maybe to get some of that stuff, so after this weekend I'll know if I got anything left. He may take it all.
Okay, Sammy, well, good deal. I hope he does. It's always good. I'm no good at selling stuff, as my wife can attest, but I'm looking for a couple of items and just wanted to check with you. Was hoping to find somebody up in the Denton and Collin County area that somebody might know that has a stash of stuff. With that, I'll turn it back. N5RMY, turning it back over to Ned.
I think you were looking for a station console. I think I got 5 of those.
Oh, okay, good deal. That was you. Somebody sent me a picture. But was that your neighbor?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I wondered. It's been one of those weeks up here, Sammy, where it's a Murphy's Law week. What can go wrong has gone wrong. So I'm just now kind of getting the smoke clearing away so I can think straight. Over.
Okay, well, 73. We're taking up net time here. We'll see you later, W5DPP.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, let me see here. I'm going to give one more call. Anybody we missed or recheck a question or something, and then I'm going to turn it loose and let Rusty finish it up. So, who else?
I forgot one of them. One more of the things, buy one, get one free.
Oh, go ahead.
All right, if you buy one HC33 Helicrafter, no, there's 2 of them. You buy one, say, for $200, you get another one free, HC33 Helicrafter. Same way with HC41. You buy one of those, you get one free. So add that to the list. Somebody wants the HC41 Helicrafter amplifier or HT33A. One of those has 4 CX300s and one of them's got a PL172 in it. So more jump, more weight.
I thought the 40. No, you said 44, didn't you?
41. Those were the 37.
Oh, the 41. Okay, I thought it had 7960s in it.
Well, that one may have, but I'm talking about the HT33A.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Well, that's not a bad deal at all, really. You Helicrafters guys, you go get a Sammy Cooper.
33 weighs 125 pounds.
Bring a young kid to load it. Dang, you'd be getting you'd be getting 2 of them, you'd be getting it for less than $1 a pound.
There you go.
Can't beat a deal like that.
And it's the Helicrafters.
That's right. And I used to have a 41, and it's a heck of an amplifier. You know, I sold it to somebody that didn't care about it as much as I did, I guess. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's with his. Okay.
HT41
is there
is a perfect
anybody
amplifier
else with a
conversion
boat
from
anchor
Series
rig that would
13
like to say something, and then I'm going to turn it to Rusty.
Hey, Jay, I'd like to make a last comment.
Go right ahead, Lynn.
Okay, this is K5LY, and hey, I appreciate everybody tolerating my experiment with this national transceiver. This is the first time it's probably been on the air in 30, 40 years, and I see it wanders around a little bit, but other than that, maybe it's pretty good. Maybe when it dries out, it'll stabilize. But I appreciate all the reports and the consultations, and we'll look forward to all this stuff again next week. Back to you, Jay, K5LY and 73s.
Okay, Lynn, while we got you on there, just let's try something. I noticed what I didn't notice when you first came on was that it was smooth then. Now, and maybe it's me, I don't know, it seems like it's a little bit raspy on your audio right now. Not bad, but just a little bit. Maybe you're in the mic, or maybe you turn the gain down just a smidgen.
Yeah, that's been a weird thing about this radio, Jay. The microphone, somebody's mixed with the audio a little bit. Did I improve it by pulling it down?
Maybe a little. It seemed like it smoothed out just a touch. It's not really bad. It's just got that little bit of fuzz in it.
Yeah, there's something weird about the audio. You have to. It's almost closed. I mean, I've got the audio gain barely opened a little bit, and I can't figure out why that's the case. But yeah, I'm not surprised. It might be overdriven a little bit.
You know what it might be? Are you touching the mic?
Well, not really.
Okay. I was just wondering if maybe maybe the ground in there is not real good or something. Maybe you're just getting a tiny little bit of RF.
There's something funny about the RF, the audio gain and the RF on this. I haven't figured that out. Thanks for the consultation, Jake. Jay, I'll work on it.
Okay. Well, it's pretty good, though. You know, in spite of that, for what it is, it's not bad. All right, folks. I took up way more time than I probably should have, so appreciate everybody that checked in tonight. It was a good night. I haven't counted everybody up yet, but we had a bunch. And we'll look for y'all next week. Thank you all. Rusty, I'm going to turn it to you because this is my 73s for the Boat Anchor Net. KM5QS, WK5R, your turn.
Okay, Jay. Appreciate it. KM5QS, WK5R. Well, folks, this is about it. Is there anybody else out there that we have missed that still wants to check into the Boat Anchors Unlimited net before we shut her down? Come now.
Been a good net, guys. KB0, you are that.
Okay, thank you, Perry. All right, I didn't hear nobody else, so this is WK5R with the Boat Anchors Unlimited net. I appreciate everybody checking in because Jay, myself, and Lynn, and whoever else might be helping with next show, we know what it takes to get these old rigs on there and keep them going. And we'll look for y'all next week. So this is WK5R now closing this session of the Boat Anchors Unlimited net and returning the frequency to normal amateur abuse.